asked is, what is the timeline we're looking at in the grand scheme?
Yeah, that's true. That's the big question.
So the ahadith seem to suggest around 1,500 to 600 years is the timeline. And this is based upon the hadith Kitab al-Salah of Sahih Bukhari, where the Prophet said the Ummah Bani Israel had time like the time between Dhuhr and Asr. And our Ummah will have the time between like Asr and Maghrib. Now Maghrib is the next day, right? So Allah created the heavens and the earth in how many days? خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ فِي سِتَّةِ أَيَّامٍ. He created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. Yawm al-Qiyamah is the 7th day, and that is Jum'ah. You can say the day of gathering, right? The Prophet said the day of judgment will happen on a Friday. So this is the process in this world of creation, you can say. So you have the 6th day. 6th day is the creation of Adam. 7th day is the day of judgment. And so I'm relating this to the hadith of the Prophet. So Maghrib meaning the next day, which is the Yawm al-Qiyamah, Yawm al-Din. Now, the reason I say so now, how much time was the time between Dhuhr and Asr? Bani Israel lasted for almost 2,000 years. Okay, and the Ummah of Muhammad, therefore, so Dhuhr to Asr is 2,000 years, and Asr to Maghrib is roughly a little less than that, right? Is roughly a little less than that, generally speaking. So this is one frame of reference to keep in mind, this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And in the same reference, if you also keep in mind the hadith the Prophet mentioned in the book of Tirmidhi, the Prophet said, "La ya'tiyanna ala ummati ma ata ala bani Israel hazwun na'lun bin na'al." All those things will come to my ummah that came to Bani Israel, like two shoes of a pair. So these two ummahs are very similar, and their ages are also somewhat similar. Okay, so this is two hadiths. The third is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which the Prophet did a dua. This is in Sahih Bukhari, that I wish my ummah get a half a day more, meaning 1 day is 1,000 years, and a half a day more, meaning 500 years. Imam Suyuti uses this hadith to say the life of the ummah is going to be about 1,500 years. What does that mean? Then the Prophet also said, we know the last mujaddid of this ummah will be the Mahdi. And the Prophet said about the mujaddideen, about the different mujaddids that would come. So starting with Umar bin Abdul Aziz and ending with Mahdi. The Prophet said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْعَثُ عَلَى رَأْسِ كُلِّ مِئَةٍ آمٍ مَنْ يُجَدِّدُهَا دِينَهَا. Allah will raise in the beginning of every century someone who will revive the deen. So the beginning. Umar bin Abdul Aziz was in the scene right before the century, in you could say the 90 Hijrah. Okay, 97 Hijrah is when I think he really came into the scene. Now, we are in 1440. So the last Mujaddid will probably be right around the beginning of the 15th century, you can say, give and take at that time. And then after that, there's still more history. There's the ruling of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and then more things happening after that with Ya'juj and Ma'juj and so on and so forth. So you could say at the doorsteps of meaning you can really begin to see the signs once Israel becomes the world power. So we still have time. So right now, one of the main things that needs to be done is the revival of the consciousness of the Muslim, consciousness, especially at the intellectual level, and more da'wah right now.